Hi everyone, welcome back to Oranges and Salt, or for today's video, Orange et Sal. So on today's olfactory roster is the much maligned perfume Secretions Magnifiques from the house Etat Libre d'Orange, which means Orange Free State. We'll get into why exactly this perfume is so controversial, or not controversial like controversial, but it elicits reactions that are really humorous and colorful because of the notes used and the inspiration for the perfume. So, Etat Libre d'Orange means Orange Free State, and I feel like a little connection to this perfume house because my family has both French and Dutch ancestry, and this perfume house has that. I think the head perfumer Etienne de Swart is Dutch, but the perfume house is located in France and probably borrows from French perfume technique. So about this company's name and heritage and, shall we say, mythology. I'll read a little excerpt from their website about where the name comes from. So, in South Africa, Etat Libre d'Orange, the Orange Free State, was an autonomous sovereign republic which declared independence from British rule in 1854. The name was derived from the royal family of the Netherlands, the homeland of the region's pioneers. It was a land of staggeringly rough beauty and color and unforgettable smells, a nation of contrast, strong feelings, and mixed emotions. The rainbow mosaic of people and cultures gave it an unpredictable, sometimes savage nature, and it was independent, unrestrained, and unrestricted. So let's just unpack that a little bit. I'm not going to be getting too political or calling out or cancel culture, all that nonsense. I'm not going there. But I think in building the brand's mythology or any mythology, certain things kind of get left by the wayside. So I think this particular view of this particular time in history is quite compartmentalized, shall we say. So I think if you're European and you're maybe Dutch, you could look at it and be like, oh, there was this time when the British had this thing we wanted, and then we overcame them, and we, yay us, we beat them, and then it became us, and it's a symbol of freedom and all these other things. But obviously, if you're an African, or if you know anything about South Africa's history, this was not a liberation and a overcoming for everybody. It was particular just to a certain group, and it didn't extend to black South Africans or mixed race South Africans or imported mixed race South Africans. So that's why I just wanted to point that out. And just the use of the word savage, I don't think you should. I think the word savage in Africa, I think we should just, I'm not here to police people's language, but this is a weird choice of words to use. So they do say a little bit about, like, I don't know, it's a bit odd when you read it, because you don't know they're talking about the past or they're talking about the present, because then they mention the rainbow nation, like rainbow mosaic, and so they usually speak for the nationhood of as South Africa as it stands today. The rainbow nation is kind of part of our current mythology, shall we say, national mythology, so it's kind of like trying to reach to the present where things are a little better, a lot better, with terms to democracy and nationhood and people in general. But it's not quite clear if they're in the past or in the present. It's a bit muddled up. But okay, so I just wanted to point that out. So they've got this idea of themselves as being pioneers and having that sort of stereotypical African exotic thing about different people, different landscapes, which is okay in itself. But I thought I'd just point it out that liberation for one group really meant the control and oppression of the vast majority of South Africans. But like I said, I'm not going to get I'm not going to get too tied up in that. I thought I'd just point it out, as a matter of fact. It's actually, the province is actually called the Free State now, so it still retains most of its name, but it's no longer the Orange Free State. Back in the day, the apartheid, because I wanted to say it like Trevor Noah says it. It's apartheid, means apartness. He says, you know, most Americans would say apartheid. That's not how you say it. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the flag. So the old African flag had a Union Jack on the one side and the Dutch flag on the other, combined. I can't even remember exactly how it looks. It's been a while since I've looked at it. But yeah, so it just shows how the story of the country was put forward as Dutch and English, whereas it was just a giant part of the country's story, like missing. You know, Xhosa, Zulu, you know, biggest languages in South Africa, biggest populations in South Africa, not featured at all. And then, yeah, so it's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, moving on. Another interesting fact, actually, about the Free State, or the Orange Free State, as it was known, it's actually the birthplace of J.R.R. Tolkien, as well, the author of Lord of the Rings, obviously. And so it's a very interesting area, interesting history, as all histories are, sad and complicated and beautiful and horrific and all those things combined, as life is. So the perfume proper. I'm going to read the notes, and then I'm going to show you the artwork, and then we're going to revisit the experience. So it has iodized accord, adrenaline accord, blood accord, milk accord, orris, coconut, sandalwood, and a popanax. Popanax is like it's a sweet resin, like a sweeter version of myrrh. Milk, something milky. When they say accord, there's things that go into it, and they don't always give like the exact notes or what exactly has gone into a perfume. So a lot of perfume speak is nonsense, really. But orris is the bulb of the iris flower, and coconut, you know, sandalwood, you know, hopefully, and then yeah, the adrenaline, the blood, and that's where things get interesting. So what they say about this perfume, like blood, sweat, sperm, saliva, Secretions Magnifiques is as real as an olfactory coitus that sends one into raptures, to the pinnacle of sensual pleasure, that extraordinary and unique moment when desire triumphs over reason. So basically, the inspiration for this perfume is human smells. And that's, I guess, quite taboo in perfume right now. People want to smell clean. I think ever since the 90s and Calvin Klein and all that stuff, everybody wanted to smell like shower gel and quite sanitary and pretty and neat. This perfume is like, no, I want to smell like human, like unwashed and, you know, things that go bump in the night, basically. So let's get into it, shall we? I've moved 3 times, so my little sample actually broke, but there's enough inside of here for me to just stick my finger in and get a whiff. I'm going to show you the artwork. I think Katie Puckrick, I don't want to cut myself. Katie Puckrick, who I love, you can see her perfume reviews on YouTube. She referred to this as a crying penis. So maybe it's crying happy tears, but it's cute, right? I think it's kind of cute. Little cute penis. Okay, so I'm gonna. The reason why I kept it in a packet was because I didn't want it to contaminate the rest of my stash. I have a stash of perfume samples. And I'll be going through all of them to do reviews on basically as many as I can. It doesn't start off too bad. I remember that from the last time. It starts off, you can smell the sandalwood, sort of sweet, creamy, milky thing happening. And then, then it begins. Yes, it's all coming back to me now. Whew. So yeah, to begin with, you don't think it's, you're like, oh, this ain't nothing. Why is everybody freaking out about this? And then something starts to hit you. I can actually physically feel, and if you can tell in my voice, like I want to cry for some odd reason. I don't know why. It hits you here, not in a good way. It starts making me feel nervous, actually, physically nervous and disturbed. So it gets metallic, and that's one of the notes that's in there. So it has this metallic, marine, bloody side. It's quite harsh and quite like, mad. And then it combines, it clashes with that sweet milkiness. So you have like blood and salt and disturbingness on the one end with like sweet and innocent on the other. I think the combination of the two, of like sweet and grotesque, and it's really amplified because this perfume's not quiet. It's not like a gentle. I think the perfumer was like, if I'm gonna make a perfume about, sperm and blood, and then I might as well take it all the way to 11. And I think, yeah, when it's that bold, it's really tenacious. It's a really tenacious perfume. It makes it even more obnoxious, shall we say. Like I said, if you like this perfume, don't be offended. Everybody likes what they like. But let me just gather my thoughts for a second. I'll come back. Okay, so I've let this marinate for a while, and it brings to mind like a certain feeling and a certain time and place. I imagine that if you guys ever watched the Son of Sam, is it Son of Sam or Son of Sam, the one with John Leguizamo, what is his name? I can't pronounce it. The Pest, the guy from The Pest, if you guys know him. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my viewfinder all the time. But it's the movie about the serial killer, and they have that orgy scene that it's like set in the 70s and has this orgy scene, and I feel like this feels like like the night after an orgy, but it ended badly. This orgy ended in violence with like a drug dealer came in, someone owed someone money, shot up the place. So like then the crime scene was only detected like the next day. So the police come in, it smells like blood and sperm and sex smells and like a putrid pina colada in the corner and metal from gunshots. I don't know. It's disturbing. It's not. Me no like it. So I'm sorry for the graphic detail, but that's what it smells like. It smells, there's a fish tank, like it's a drug dealer's house. So there's like a exotic, tropical fish tank in the corner. So it's got like fish food, like it's got that mineral sort of sea smell mixed in with like a band-aidy blood smell, and then it's got like the sweat of people and like a curdled coconut milky vibe, which it's, I'm gonna have to, I don't know what to take, maybe some bicarb and some vinegar might help dissipate the smell, because this is sticking around. Final thoughts before I wash this off. I can understand why maybe someone would like it if it hits you, if you don't have, if your olfactory mind is not steering you in this way. I can understand why you like it, because it's got the coconut, it's got that sweet, and then it has marine elements. And if maybe you're a freak, maybe you're a freaky, kinky person, you're like, this isn't my jam. But to me, this is everything good and bad pushed just to the limit. That's what I think it is. It's not that the actual notes are awful. It's that they're combined in a way that's vulgar, really. Yeah, that's what it is. It's combined in a way that's like vulgar, and I think it was meant to elicit a reaction like this. So I think it was the perfumer's authorial intent, shall we say. And in this case, I'll have to agree. It goes there. So if maybe for you it's about surrender and sexy times, but for me this is this is bad news. This is a headline of a bad thing that happened in the 70s, right? Like disco music playing in the background, like a disco ball going, like dead bodies, lots of naked dead bodies and blood and semen. I know this is probably not safe for work, but there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this review. It was a bit all over the place, so I apologize. And it had all sorts of interesting tidbits and information for you. And yeah, like if you like, subscribe if you know what's good for you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.